Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This Shabbos is a very special Shabbos. Shabbos, or the beginning of the month of Nisan. Today is the great anniversary of the passing of the Rebbe Rashab, who wrote great esoteric teachings, as well as he started the school of the Chabad system of Tomchei Tzmimim. And it's very much connected to this Shabbos, which Shabbos Parshat Vayikra. In this opening of this week's Torah portion, which is the beginning of the book of Leviticus, we'll find something very unique that's written in the Torah. And that is, the Torah is written, the beginning of the book of Vayikra, the last letter of the word is a small aleph. The Torah does not open up with an aleph. The Torah opens up with a beis, Bereshis. And Bereshis is a big beis, but that represents unity. That represents two. Even though Aleph is the oneness of Hashem, Alufei Shalayim, the greatness of the world, but the Aleph doesn't open up the Torah, number one, the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet. Nevertheless, Beis, because we have to know that in life we have to unify. But what do we learn from this Aleph? And the answer is that Moshe Rabbeinu was tremendously humble. He had tremendous humility. He says he was humble more than all people. And it's an incredible feat to be a leader like Moshe Rabbeinu, to deal with millions of Jews, taking them out of Egypt, and nevertheless to always remain humble. And that's what makes Moshe Rabbeinu the greatest of leaders. The word of Vayikra, and he called, if you take out that small aleph, it's Vayakar. Vayakar means that he encountered. Bilam, who was a Gentile prophet, he also encountered God, but he had tremendous ego. And because of that, he could never actually speak one-on-one with Hashem, even though he was considered one of the greatest of prophets in the Gentile prophets. Whereas Moshe Rabbeinu, because of his humility, he was able to receive God's direct relationship. When we don't have any space inside of us and we're so full of hot air and ego and arrogant, then we don't have any space for Hashem. And so it teaches us the tremendous value of humility, even taking credit. Just in 2 weeks from now, we'll be celebrating the Seder. Who is the hero of the Seder? The hero of Passover is Moshe Rabbeinu, is Moses. But you won't find the name of Moshe Rabbeinu anywhere in the Haggadah. It's mentioned one place, which is just in the Psalms, that we say every single day in our reading of the Psukei de Zimra, in the reading of our prayers. But an actual story, or the actual story that we're telling and we're talking about this night in which we left Egypt, we don't talk about Moshe. It is said, who is the author of the Haggadah, and they said it is Moses as well. I mean, obviously compilations over history, but who was the one that started the reading of the Haggadah? The Gadza Labincha, you should tell your children, was a text by Moshe Rabbeinu. And so he's the author, he's the hero, and his name is not mentioned anywhere. God tells him, I'm going to make a great nation out of you. He says, no, take my name out of your Torah. That is what we learn from Moshe. To be a great leader, we have to truly be humble. And it's a very difficult task, because as always, power and strength and money get to our heads. But in the reality, is the greatest of connection that we can have with Hashem is when we have humility. And so as we go into the Shabbos Parshat of Vayikra, the Shabbos of the month of miracles, we ask God to give us revealed miracles. But in order to have revealed miracles, we have to create space for Hashem, and we have to have humility. So when we take on ourselves to work on ourselves and be more humble and have more humility, God will give us tremendous blessings. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And see you tonight, 7:15, tomorrow, 10:15.